Back, everybody. You just can't get rid of us. And guess who I found? Kevin Avery. Welcome, welcome.
Oh, Mr. Steve the Achieve, glad to be on here with you. We got some exciting earnings play. That was the bell that just went off, but
All
that was
right.
the
That
bell to
means
the fun, to the
we're going to get
fun.
right on down to it because it's going to get spicy here. We've got a lot to talk about here. We have Hood, we have Ford, we have, let's see what else we've got. Net coming up. We have ALAB. I'm very curious about ALAB. I've got a small position in ALAB as well as one sad runner share of Hood after that massive wipeout. I couldn't bear to sell everything. I kept one to remind me of my shame. So that's where I'm personally invested. Do you own any of these companies?
No, I mean, I mainly just take the, predictable pieces intraday, but I have a long-term portfolio, which I have an advisor that does this kind of work.
Mm.
So as far as on the swing side of things goes, but Mr. Joe, congrats on your trade today, by the way. Let's go. It was rather slowish in small cap, so this is exciting to see what these earnings can bring. But I like what you mentioned as far as just even holding in, like you're holding just a small piece,
Yeah.
right? Just to allow maximum profitability on the trade, but just to keep your interest too, right? Like they say
Yeah,
with feeler positions, just like throw even a little piece on it just to keep your interest.
absolutely. Because otherwise, I mean, I have such a massive watch list. I don't know about you. Stuff gets lost in there, So it's good
Yeah.
to keep it in kind of sorted baskets of like, if it's worth keeping an eye on, it's worth keeping an eye on. That made no sense. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm trying to look for earnings
No,
numbers here too.
yeah, flipping through these tickers. But yeah, I've heard too where some traders will say, look, take the just start an entry on it, even if it's one share, because and then take the actual trade, Steve, when it actually confirms or gets to you. Here's Lyft making a little bit of a
Oh,
pop right here.
okay,
Lyft
already.
likely to I'm seeing Lyft is likely to report lower earnings. Now, what's interesting with Lyft is Uber actually when they posted earnings, they met expectations, but still sold off a few percent. So I'm curious what Lyft's going to do since they're in such competition, with one another.
Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting because I was a big Uber bull last year, and that thesis kind of fell apart. I made money on the trade, but it felt like it should have done a lot better. And I think a lot of that had
Mm.
to do with Google and Waymo just taking their lunch. So I can't imagine it's been that great for Lyft here either. But this is such an interesting spot technically. You have this kind of stage two breakout attempt where it tried to get above here, failed, but did kind of hold this higher low. It is holding these moving averages. You could also argue it's holding this kind of base that it broke out from previously. So I'm kind of curious. Oh, is this even a little downtrend line retest? Oh, look at that. There's a lot of ways I could frame this to make it look potentially bullish to me. So I'd like to see him beat. Can't keep a good lift down?
Yeah, but even if they beat, there's
Mm,
speculation that that might not be good enough, right? Because
yeah.
like you mentioned, there's such high risk with companies like Waymo that may just utilize their own fleet, and render Lyft. I guess the margins are so tight as they are with Lyft. It just I think that's why we've been trending down. There's
It's a
just
tough
a shit
tough
ton of
sell,
pressure.
to an
Yeah.
investor. So I do understand the price action. I just when you have memories with a ticker and you just want to see it do good. So
Yeah.
okay, it looks like ALAB probably released off that gap up. Can you watch the chart there while I pull up some earnings numbers there real quick, please?
Yeah, yeah. Let's take a look. ALAB looks like 182 was really that level today on ALAB, and it was holding it fairly well. It's
Maybe that wasn't even earnings and it's just the spread is widening like crazy. I'm expecting they're going to be
ooh, yeah,
coming in 1 minute though here. So we're going to be ready for those.
it's
We're going to be ready
popping.
for Hood as well.
Oh, ALAB,
Oh,
you're in
let's
that too, right?
go.
194. Woo!
Oof. All right, nice.
Yeah.
This is our long-term
Oh,
position.
one
I'm feeling
nice.
good. We are feeling good. While we wait for net, I'm going to pull the ALAB daily chart just in the bottom here to show you guys why I'm so excited. We just broke this long range that we've been bopping our head against once, twice, three times here at the 185 level. We just smashed through it. Looks like we are going to sweep the 200 level next. That's where I have a small trim, but I think that this can go a lot higher. So that's just my first little take some off the table.
Nice. The
All right,
Steve the Achieve crystal ball on ALAB. So what
let's see
yeah,
the
what
numbers.
I love this. Yeah, I mean the daily was so clear. The 1823, it was holding it real well. And now that it's above that, it's gonna be really challenging just digress this entire move.
Still not seeing it yet. Looks like Hood's out and down. That's not good. Oh, wow, that's down a lot. Okay, all right.
Oh,
79 and falling.
oh.
That's smashing ALAB back down to earth, too. It didn't like that. What's SPY doing? How much market cap does Hood have if it's doing this? No, SPY doesn't care. Okay, not a disaster. SPY doesn't care. ALAB also just wide wicks here. We have to see. I'm not seeing numbers for ALAB, so I'm not sure they even reported
Okay,
yet.
Hood reports. We got it. We got it.
What do you got?
Revenue of 4.5 billion in 2025, including a record 1.28 billion Q4. Record diluted earnings per share of it's like what are the numbers for this quarter?
Oh no, and ALAB's taking a header too, guys. We're back
Okay,
to
here we
break
go. Here
even.
we go. Here we go. Fourth quarter results. Oh, it's taking a hit, ALAB.
Yeah, it's coming back on down, testing the 170. I am a little bit sad. That's why we call it a long-term hold in the don't look port, and we are in from lower. So it's not the end of the world. We just thought it might be party day. Ain't
This
that a shame?
insanity, those volatilities taking me back to the dumpster small caps this morning.
Yeah,
Uh,
don't look now. Sorry to interrupt there, but ALAB, I don't even think it's done. I don't even think
yeah,
it's. I
back
mean,
up, back
the
up.
numbers haven't even come out. This is. Well, I mean, I got
Lyft
again.
getting crushed.
Oh no,
Oh, Lyft getting crushed.
left on the monthly here. Let's look at the. We'll look at an hourly to get some perspective. Oh man, just got hammered down here to 15. So you were right. Well, we'll see if they beat, but it sure doesn't look like the market liked it no matter what they did. Hood trying to find buyers here at the 80 handle, the nice round number, providing a little bit of support. We'll see if that can hold. ALAB, meanwhile, still hanging out right about prices not seen since, I don't know, an hour ago. So despite my emotional roller coaster there, not a lot of action despite uh, some big
So
moves here so far. Decent moves.
Lyft today announced record financial results for its fourth quarter and full year ended December 31st. Hmm.
And yet here we are.
Yeah, but I mean, we just discussed that thought process here.
Yeah,
Like we could have good news, but it could be met by just overall bearish sentiment still, as traders are not buying it.
great read, great read. And sorry, guys, we do have Ford hitting the tape too by the looks of it. I'm going to pull up those numbers in just a second. Seeing some bottom wicks here. This is not huge motion, so maybe this is just anticipatory, but a decent move there so far. Man, what else is shaking? We also have net too. Guys, it is just one after another today, and don't even have time to talk about the implications all quite yet. We'll be getting to them. Don't worry. Once we have a second to breathe here, they're blitzing us here, Kevin. Got to
Oh
hold
my
the line.
we got all the line. Yeah, I mean, this is insanity. With Lyft, you have okay, they're up 19% bookings year over year, revenue up 3% year over year. Everything's up. I'm seeing with Lyft except their ticker.
Yeah, the only part that matters to most people
Yeah,
watching.
exactly.
So, okay, I did just get ALAB earnings, so we have a double beat. We have earnings per share beat by 14%. Expected number was 0.51. The actual number was 0.58. On the revenue side, that's an 8% beat with expected numbers coming in at 249 million. Actual numbers 270 million in revenue. So that's a 57% boost in EPS year over year. We have revenue up 92% year over year, and we are down a couple percent, 1%.
Oh
So
man.
I'm not worried yet. I'm not worried. It's about the guide anyway. I do believe that is where it's going to matter. We saw Credo do an absolutely stellar with their pre-release guide, and I think that should be beneficial for ALAB as well. So ALAB, what they do is they're basically a semiconductor connectivity company. They work with like cloud and AI stuff, and essentially they're going to be a good gauge of infrastructure spending. So if the same type of deal, Credo talking about all this, bright futures, yada, yada, yada. Well, that should be good for ALAB too. The chart looks so good. I wonder if it might be one of these ones like on semiconductors where it got punished for what I thought were good results, a double beat, just not
Hmm.
exactly as good as earnings were, or as maybe the options were positioning, or, for whatever reason, the short term movement kind of had to shake out. So that ended up being a great dip buy. I'm wondering if ALAB at 175, nice round number, it might end up being a nice dip buy. I might actually mention in my server, if you like ALAB, not a bad time to add.
Yeah, I mean, that's just absolute clear level of support there in the 175s for sure. Xavier
Yeah,
in the buildings, lift a hold for 2027. Ooh, yeah. I mean, that market is ever evolving is that market. So it's even with Lyft, Xavier, with just the good earnings that it had, record actually. Look at this sentiment on it, which is still bearish. So stiff competition. Tyler Smith in the building. Good to have you in here, Tyler Smith and Tech. What you looking at, Tech?
what you got?
But yeah, Joe, absolutely. As far as leaving a small piece, we saw that he mentioned that earlier to ride because we saw it firsthand with the TCGL and Josh. Even like he left like just a 1% of his position, 5 shares made $500 on that TCGL
Whoa.
because sometimes they just run like so irrationally.
Mm-hmm.
But Hood getting
It's bopped,
yeah
and it ain't stopping. So no buyers found under the 80 handle yet. Looks like we're going to make a new low. We will keep an eye on
worse
that. Lyft
than
trying to find buyers at that 1450 handle. These names love these 1450 handles, and anywhere between 10 and 20 I found. Really just under 20. Really most stocks like round numbers. So keeping an eye on that one there. Ford, we do have earnings out for Ford here. Looks like we have a beat on revenue but a miss on earnings per share. So we have a 9%, call it 10%, 9.86% beat on revenue. They were expecting 4.178 billion. Numbers came in at 45.9 billion. Sorry, a little dyslexic here. Earnings per share. This is a tough job for a dyslexic guy. Earnings per share. Actual numbers came in at 0.13, 13 there compared to 19 expected there. So down 66% year over year there. Revenue is down 5% year over year. Still a beat on the guide from last
okay.
quarter there. So Ford, you know what? Little red to green action. I think that's worth zooming on in because I want to see what this might be reaching for and where it might be reaching to.
You get the one taker that comes out with the bad earnings that's holding here.
It's funny, right? Sometimes it's all about the expectations. So I'm seeing a big
Mhm.
consolidation type pattern, a big wick out, running this turtle soup type playbook under these previous stops, just running your stops. Thank you very much, sir. I'll take those off your hands. Don't worry about it at all. So then since those bulls have been liberated of their shares at quite a nice price down here, we have gotten this swift move up. The question is, does it hold and does it push higher? And you know what? It's looking pretty decent so far, but the real test is going to be, I think, when we
Yeah, in the
look
14
at this.
fives. If you look, I like what you said earlier, looking left to predict right. And really, zooming out to the even the 20-year chart, we're seeing the 14 to 15 as a supply zone on it. Demand zone is going to be more down towards like 12, 10.
Do you
So
happen to have the ability to pull that up real quick? I'm curious. I don't have the backward history here.
yeah, I'm on looking at TOS. Let me see if I can do that on.
No, no worries. If it's, I can pull it up on. Let's see.
Oh,
Hmm.
I see. Because we're only on the 1 year. Okay, yeah, yeah. Let me pull up TOS real quick. I'll show that.
Sorry, I'm drowning in tabs over here, brother. I appreciate it. So I will yap a little bit here while you get that there. Lyft is finding the buyers at that 1450 for now, just off the initial test. Doesn't mean it's going to hold. Hood gave the little undercut, trying to rally here, but it doesn't mean anything unless it can get above this 8150 in my book. So moving on to ALAB, my baby, my pride and joy, just hanging out at 150 or 175. I'm kind of thinking of nibbling. I don't know. I should probably wait
Here
for
it is.
the call.
Here's
I'll,
F. The 20 years looking back. I mean, we're seeing, yeah, we're seeing that 14.5 level, 14.5.
so yeah, Hood earnings. I mean, it's a little bit interesting here. I'm not really sure. I'm gonna before I speculate too heavily. I'm gonna get some more information here. But talk. I'll get back to you on the Hood there. Sorry to interrupt, Kevin.
No, you're good. Yeah, as far as Hood goes, worse than expected Q4. Yeah, Hood's like they really have pivoted well over the years. Steve, I remember utilizing them like I think back in like 2016, 17 or so, and but they've
Mhm.
always shifted with the market because now Hood is getting into what prediction markets. So
Yeah, and it's
you're right.
on everybody's front page. I'm seeing a lot of backlash. I mean, it's probably making a lot of money though, so I don't know how to feel
Yes.
that.
And I saw, yeah, you can. That'll be interesting if you could like parlay like
Oh, I think we
college
got net
games.
out there.
Let's
That's a big candle. So
take a look.
I will let you know as soon as I get information. Sorry, I didn't cut you out. There's so many things going on
I
here.
know.
Through the 190 though there.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah, 193. Okay, I see for net fourth quarter revenue 614 million, 34% increase year over year.
Okay.
Do, 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 do.
Looking good. Looking good. All right. I'm gonna pull up to a higher time frame here and see where we're finding these sellers. Looks like about the 193-ish handle, but man, this thing popped all the way to 197. Real explosive there on an hourly, absolutely powering up back into this key level. This is where I got stopped out like a month or so ago. Right back to the scene of the crime. No, not quite. Not quite. And that's why you practice stops. But yeah, just about here is where I got stopped out, thinking it was going to flag here, break out, failed pretty hard. Now we are reclaiming, and this is an interesting look here. Whenever you have one of these crazy big up candles like this that just gaps up and then instantly reverts
Mhm.
back to the trend, I don't know, Kevin. How do you look at that? Do you give that as much credit as other candles, or what's your thought process there?
So are you looking at that candle that did the break over the highs and then
Yeah.
retrace? Or yeah, I mean that reminds me of again the AMKR trade you were discussing earlier, where
Mhm.
people that are buying highs and hoping higher. That's where you get in trouble, especially with a ticker. If you zoom out on the daily, is already maybe overbought at those supply zones.
Yeah.
I like your AMKR idea as far as that goes. It's like uh, you got to be careful buying breakouts. I know when a lot of traders first start, I mentioned this that I talk about in my book, where bull flags oftentimes can be treated like bear flags. It's if they're already way overbought, like RSI through the
Mhm.
roof, and you have a ticker
Yeah.
that's just overbought on the daily and intraday. The patterns are there, but they're deceptive, right? So, like you
Yeah.
mentioned with the AMKR, it's like you got to be real careful buying at that level because 90%, and we don't want to be among the 90%, are seeing the exact
Mhm.
same thing. And
Yeah.
so maybe like you liked AMKR's overall daily chart. You're zooming out on the time frame a bit, but traders that are looking for intraday levels on that trade, like that's a liquidity area on the day at least, right?
Yeah,
So yeah.
absolutely. I love what you're saying about these false flag setups because it just jogged my memory. I had to pull up the SPY chart from today because just on a 1 minute chart, but these happen on all time frames. We broke through the pre-market highs. We broke through the morning high opening range here. Looks like full steam ahead.
Mhm.
We have a big liquidity target. I'm on SPY. I was trading Qs and it was like about like there or so, big liquidity target on bookmap, big liquidity target in terms of big gamma target as well on the gex profile. And so essentially it seemed really good when we were just consolidating above the highs in a vacuum to get that push up, you know. When you look left, you always got to look
Yes.
left. There's usually a story being told. And let's see what we saw. Essentially what we saw is this again. Here's another great example. I'll zoom in here. This hourly flag here, it seems so bullish, but really there's a big seller that's just absorbing
Mhm.
buyers there, and the buyers gave up for a while and had to go back into recovery mode to consolidate here. I still think buyers probably okay long term. We're just dipping back here, but these
Yeah.
flags can be deceiving, and what looks like consolidation and eating into a support could just be buyers gassing themselves out. So you always got to kind of prepare for that. Mm.
Yeah, the same thing happened. I know, Joe, you mentioned as well with in small caps with JZXN today. It nearly tapped like the third test breakout, but again, the sticker's up like whatever 100% or so. And I knew it was going to be a manipulated name today, but it had a quick, fast, hard reject, and that's where I ended up scalping it on stream when it cracked that level. But just waiting for confirmation over anticipation. I think that's where traders get messed up. And especially you can get in trouble too with these earnings, trying to predict versus letting the setup develop. I think it was
Yeah.
we were looking at. I believe it was Apple a week or two ago, and we had clear levels. It pulled back to such a key support area, and it
Ooh.
gave us a perfect level to risk off of, and so we let those develop and to define that those areas for us.
Yeah,
Man,
that's great. It's a great
a
strategy.
so Ford, yeah, Ford is very interesting. That one came out with the bad earnings, but I think you're onto something with it being just maybe priced in already, as traders
Mhm.
are expecting this with just inflation because car sales are down, and I think investors, traders know this that
Yeah,
they're projected to decline. You know, we have so much inventory out there, new vehicle sales have dropped, uh, and so that's not unusual.
yeah, and I think that, like you said, just on the higher time frame chart, this is a name that's been in accumulation for so long. You said it's a really long term pattern, so definitely possible for it to just kind of be bottoming, not even on bad news. I mean, maybe you could consider it bad news, but it's just enough is enough kind of thing. There can be these kind of just shifts that I remember when semiconductors bottomed, it seemed like there was nothing but bad news. But then they just started going up despite the bad news. And then all of a sudden, people were chasing them up. So who knows? Maybe maybe cars are the next semiconductors. Probably not, but maybe. I am just noticing ALAB, by the way, it's really interesting to me here. It was interesting at 175, and now it's a little bit more interesting, even lower, and having held this low candle here from the pre-market. So it came all the way down, reverted this whole move, which was all made on low volume. So it got all the way up here on low volume, basically off the implications of Credo pre-announcing their earnings, smash beating there. So this whole kind of thing got reverted. You could see the seller hammering it right there, right there. One last time here too, coming back down. But is it just coming back down to its kind of mid pivot point? That's what I'm kind of wondering here. So I'm going to keep an eye on this one. Maybe I don't buy it right now because it still is a little scary. We'll look at the 1 minute. But I'm really interested in this. I like this push down. And now if it can push down again and hold, I kind of want to buy it on the reclaim of 170 there, I'm thinking.
Yeah, I like that.
No, no,
But
no.
taking to buying that fear, at those demand areas. Um, Lyft
Yeah.
zooming out, it does have its demand zone is going to be, man, that thing pulled back so much. Like I was seeing 13 looking left on the
Yeah.
left. So
Yeah, that left zone there, 13, man. I mean, heck, this is a weekly here. This would be there's just this little bottom wick, 1350. Maybe that could hold it, but if that doesn't,
mhm.
maybe this kind of area. Oof, I don't know. For me, I got to get my fibs out because I just feel lost in the woods in this giant range with no points of reference. So I need to know
You know
where my.
what I
Mhm.
what you can see from this action with these earnings plays have been where people mainly get crushed is just the over leveraging on these plays
Yeah,
because yeah, they're the volatility is insane, but as long as you widen out your time frame, you'll certainly be all right on these. Net
yeah.
holding up a little bit, 201 tapped.
And Kevin, it's not sexy. Taking a small starter, building into a position, but
Yeah.
it really does pay dividends, no pun intended. When you just can compound your gains so much more safely. So that's a big factor for me, just like kind of peace of mind and the way that I can do it and sleep at night and not freak out and not wake up to a position down 20% and have my heart drop. Instead, I'll be mad, but I won't lose sleep over it. And the whole difference there is, yeah, like you said, just literally just position sizing. And you know what? Trade the Pool even has a tool for it. We have a position sizing calculator, so you don't get hurt. And I use it. I recommend you guys use it too. It's a good tool
Yeah,
there.
part of the plan. So, I mean, some people I've watched, Warren Buffett talk about this all the time because he was. I know Coca-Cola. They just what
Cool.
they did their earnings today, but and he was investing in that
Mhm.
for so many decades. But what he would say is like I love when the ticker is selling off, against them because that I'm getting it now at a bargain price
Yeah,
essentially. But it
exactly.
but
Yeah,
people don't think of trading like that. Like people want to be green, but if you think of it like if you're going shopping and you find something that's half off, are you going to be upset about it?
right.
No, no, because this is
Kevin,
you're getting
you know what I like more than making money? I
getting a
like it.
deal.
Well, yes, that's the crux of it. But I love when my account is flat, but I sold my hedges for a profit and I'm balanced and the market's starting to curl. And that's the best feeling in the world, because the thing I own, the thing I believe in, these actual shares, this actual asset, I protected that. Not all days are going to be green, but if you can protect yourself from an otherwise red day and still hold on to your conviction positions to keep on going, keep on trucking,
Yeah.
then that's where you really see the gains compounding. I just want to really quickly bring up this chart on Fermi here, FRMI. These guys are uh, the market did not like. I believe they had a bunch of legal trouble. I do not believe they're considered a high quality company, but sometimes those are the best deals, because when that narrative changes from what's a nice way to put it, trash co, I guess we could say, to maybe slightly under trash co, maybe you know, I don't
Well,
know.
they just
I
got a
don't,
$500 million equipment loan, FRMO.
it's a spicy one. It's a spicy one, and it's been hard for me to read it, but I think it might be finally turning a corner. There's been a ton of long dated flow in like from March. It was long dated when it came in a few months ago, in my book at least. But March and May, I believe. May is the other one. Looks like it's climbing a bit here, and it's starting to try to push out of this double base or form a double base. So a few areas I look at, you got the downtrend line, but really just this neckline in general, where that wick came in on the first day. So I think that's going to be your kind of area there. And this is like really simple Darvis box type stuff here. Where hey, we're in a box and it held the bottom, so let's see what it does at the top. Nice and simple. Earnings are good. Probably going to test the top before the bottom. Top is still 10% away, although I do see it coming back. So why don't we look at the actual 1 minute here? Did it give it all back? It gave it all back. Oh no. We'll see if this holds, if this sticks. It's, this company has a lot of short interest. I would not be surprised to see it get flushed out. A little spicy there, but we can see if it can hold this base, because if 950 can hold, this was a lot of volume traded here. The 940 handle. I don't know. That's a little bit spicy.
Ford holding up. Hood is trying to bounce off 77, guys. Again, this is how we viewed last week. So just get those levels. Don't trade. Yeah, don't anticipate. Let's get confirmation of the levels, and then you can take trades based off of that, where we clearly define the levels. I was telling them earlier, Steve.
Yeah.
Well, especially this morning at least, that amateurs they're always looking for a trade, and then professionals, they're always looking for the trade, like the trade that comes to them, right? This is my setup, because random trading is going to lead to random results, and we want to make sure we let the trades come to us. That's what these earnings certainly are screaming to me, like let them develop a little bit.
And there's a trade I took this last week. It's a great example. So APLD, this is one that I thought was breaking out. And you know what happens when you buy those breakouts into kind of shaky market tape? Well, oftentimes they do one of these. Give you the old yeehaw all the way back down.
Yeah.
So what I did was I got in basically on this fake out red candle back into my 9-day moving average right down here. So I got in on the close. 36.
Look at that volume too. Look at all that volume.
It looked good. And then it was, following up from this big volume. This big volume traded at this level, and then it's coming in, trading right back at that same level, finding more volume. So I thought it was picking up more buyers, and it did. Made a new 52-week high and closed at the high of the day. Didn't close over the previous wick, but I mean, come on, man. Seemed good to me. Post an inside day hammer candle, actually a slight bullish day, breaking slightly above, and then just closing slightly above. I thought it was fine. Another hammer candle into the 9-minute or 9-day. Thought it was fine. Then I got stopped at break even on the rest. I did take some off the all-time highs because, hey, just, because stuff like this happens. I've been around the block enough to know,
Yeah, I know as a discretionary trader, this the best feeling in the world when you lock in green and you adjust your stop break even it's not the best like systematic approach, right, to trading, but emotionally I cannot go red on this trade. It's the best feeling to be in a trade. I'm green no matter what. It's like I'm either green or greener on this trade. It's the best.
And especially, I think that's really important for any setup, but it's so much more important when you're trading either futures or one of these trade the pool accounts where you can churn your money. So that means, it's like Spider-Man, like with great power comes great responsibility, because you can really hurt yourself by over trading, but you can also just say, hey, the flip side of that is if this trade doesn't work, I'm not married to it. I can get out, hop right
Mm.
back in 2 minutes. If it whips down and whips back up, reclaims my support, all of a sudden it looks so much better. Well, if I was in my, I traded a number of years with like a $500, options account. I still only trade like $500 to $1,000 of options accounts because I like to do crazy stuff.
Mhm.
But it was a bigger deal back then. And just it's such a game changer in terms of just your ability to kind of actually compound to not be what the heck was my point? I'm sorry, Kevin. I'm losing my mind. Pretend I said something really profound, and
Pull the
we'll,
Mark
we'll fix it in post.
Minaveri. Is that his last name?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
just
sorry, we're breaking up here. What was that?
yeah. Can you turn the teleprompter back on? Come on.
Please, for the love of God. Yeah. Do you ever do that where you start a sentence and your mouth's writing checks that your mouth can't cash, and 3 seconds later, or your brain can't cash? I guess.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, my wife is. I mean, she'll be like, "Where? How did we get onto that subject?" She asked me a question, and I'm like talking about something. You just like you tell that never ending story. Have you watched Ed Bassmaster's videos on those? You,
no, no, I
look
haven't.
look him up.
Um,
I think he was doing them out there in Cali too. He's a comedian. Yeah, there you will laugh your booty off. Yeah, Ed
awesome.
Bassmaster. Watch the never ending stories.
Never
And
ending stories.
that's exactly what you're talking about right now. I'll send it. I'll send it to you.
I love
Lyft is in a little bit of a bear flag. It
it.
looks like
Yeah.
it's cracking ish. But I mean, still, Lyft is just not gonna get the lift off. It doesn't look like.
Oh, don't you hate it when the name doesn't do the thing? When Rocket
I
goes
know.
down, when Lyft dies.
Yeah, yeah.
A bummer. Upstart down 20%. Upwork dead. Delisted.
What's funny is in small caps, you'll literally have sympathy plays off of just names that are
Yeah,
fairly similar.
I
It's
love it.
the craziest thing.
It's just
But
the Wild West. You guys are a bunch of degens, and I love it. So, Kevin, on Lyft here, would you consider this one of those bear flags that you're talking about, where, or I guess I should say, because you were talking about a bull flag that isn't a bull flag. So when is a bull
right.
flag not a
Oh, yes. That's awesome. I love that you're seeing that you see that.
flipping it?
You're right. I hesitate with these kind of bear flags, but
Mhm.
here's the key thing, Steve. Volume. Volume tells the story. So if what's beautiful about this trade is okay, let's say it's cracking. Well, you can take the short here,
Mhm.
but if it starts getting an increase of volume, then it invalidates and you can get out fairly quickly.
Real quick,
That's how I would trade that.
for the people in the back, and totally not myself. When you say it's failing, are you referring to the kind of like failing under this pivot, or are you looking at something else in particular?
Oh, just the trend line on the
Trend line, yeah,
the
on the
flag
bottom.
crack. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah,
yep.
for sure, for sure.
But yeah, I wouldn't.
Oh yeah.
This wouldn't be something. Normally, I'm shorting Euphoria into a descending triangle,
Mhm.
not a sell off into this, which it is making a little bit higher, higher lows off that initial. So longs are you got to look at it from everybody's perspective, right? So
Yeah.
longs are taking this trade saying, oh, I have my clear risk guide like 1411 now, and if you zoom out on the daily, like you got the 13 levels as well. It's not a trade I would take on the short side. If I was going to take it, it would be tight, like I said, in validation on volume coming into this play.
Yeah.
But normally, I like the euphoria into descending triangles because those give you clear risk guides off of the high. We nearly examples of those every single day. I'm sure in large caps too. You just have pops and then lower highs forming, clear risk off the top, and then oftentimes you'll get a nice crack in those.
Okay, Kevin. So when you say a descending triangle off of Euphoria, is this kind of what you're talking about on Lyft, or am I just seeing what I want to see here? I think I'm having trouble visualizing that. See this up here?
Off the daily. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, that's
Oh,
it.
look at
So
that.
that's on the daily. That's on the daily, right? So
Mhm.
that's formed over what a few days on that. So
Couple weeks, yeah.
yeah. Yo, that's
Oh,
gorgeous. But we see those intraday too. We see those
right.
intraday all the time, all the time, all the time. On
Mhm.
the 1 minute time frame, 5 minute time frame, you'll see them quite often. And so you can capitalize on just taking the predictable piece on that versus the highs. And those are names that you can lean into too. So you like if it starts confirming, uh, you can size it accordingly.
Yeah.
So you
So
can,
can I walk through what I might do, and you can tell me
yeah.
what maybe I'm doing wrong, or how you would look at it?
No, no.
Cool, cool. Let's see. So in my mind, I'd be saying, all right, big gap up. Now we're watching to see how price reacts. Okay, try to make a new high. We can't. We make a new low. Not a great sign. Did find buyers in the gap. That's good. Can we make a new high? No, we can't. Okay, we're in consolidation. So now I'm looking to see basically when we break this consolidation and play the direction it breaks. We have a gap underneath to fill, but we're also in crazy uptrends. So got to watch this rising moving average. I see this test caught us catching. So there's buyers here, kind of similar to those buyers on the Lyft bear flag on the 1 minute there. So like you said, these patterns on every level,
Mhm.
but these buyers are trying, but they're not very strong. They can't make a new high. It's kind of weak sauce. You can see even these wicks up here. This kind of acts as
Mhm.
an area of rejection. And so what you get is this really cooking of this 9 moving average, just really hammering it, hammering it, hammering it. Then you
Mhm.
close right into it. I'd be really watching here. And then when it broke this low of the day, that's where my entry would probably be. Just getting in there. Then maybe on this day when it wicks above and loses this low again, I might add in somewhere there. And for me, my target, I think looking at this would just be the gap fill. Am I missing something here? Is this
No, I
how you're
love it.
doing? Okay.
Yeah, well,
Awesome.
exactly. You're allowing confirmation over the anticipation, so that's beautiful. You wait for it to happen. Let me share my screen too, and I'll show you something. Yeah, that's exactly right. Confirmation over the anticipation, and again, you like before you had mentioned leaving a piece to run, so allowing for a piece was going to help the RR over time. Of course, in that scenario, it didn't work out, which you would have stopped out of that piece. But Nos was saying he's been trading these on the short side, these the hangovers, and
Yeah.
what works for him, well, he got an account funded with it, is allowing rather than taking small taking small profit where he'd have more profitable days, the back testing shows he takes more losses, but allows them really to work till end of day, and
Yeah.
that's where he sees most profit. So
Okay.
yeah,
That's so important to know your edge, and you got to know your data. So that's awesome. Really quick here, I'm seeing a couple things of interest here. So first off, ALAB, we drew it out. I said I liked it. I didn't buy it. Getting the reaction. So we'll see. We'll see if it plays ball tomorrow. Still got my chunk from a long time ago. So we can wait for the setup to present itself here. Although I do have a sneaking feeling this one might be higher pretty soon. What's interesting is that it did this basic kind of look. I don't know why I said it like that, like William Shatner or something. All right. Anyway, so we kind of retested this previous low, this previous bottom of the area where it kind of V-shaped. Again, the ICT guys would call this right here an order block, where this red candle, the last red candle of this trend here, got rejected and reclaimed and shot through. You'll see that when it gets reclaimed, just squeeze that big squeeze stick. So we come right back into it and we find these buyers again. It shows me that this range is still good. This buyer is still ready to party. So sure, there's a seller up here. It could be the same guy. He could be getting out here, buying them back cheaper right here. 10 minutes later, 20 minutes later. He might be a god trader. We don't know. So what I just wanted to bring up with this though is that I'm seeing Hood and I'm just wondering, Kevin, what do you think? Is there any chance that this might be doing the same kind of thing here, dipping back into this order block? I kind of want to see it reclaim that 80, 80, 50.
yeah, I don't think it's done. I really don't. Um,
But it's tough though, right? Under the 200 now? Man.
Yeah, and just overall market sentiment. It's tough when these names are, we have big reports coming out tomorrow, and then the SPY was been kind of chopping around. It's like, can they just pick the day?
Yeah.
Like actually, today's not the best day. Let's wait till tomorrow to do our earnings.
Yeah. Call in sick. Mom, I don't want to go to school today. I don't want to ring
Yeah,
the bell today.
I know.
Make somebody else do it. I'll report next week. One of
I don't,
those. So, man, I mean, Hood is getting beat, but here's the thing. Like, this is kind of my bread and butter setup. I hate to say it. Not under a 200 day or in this downtrend like this, buying knives, but seeing relatively high volume on the capitulation into just as high volume on the buyback of this low. And then is it potentially putting in a higher low and absorbing sellers here on, I guess, bad earnings? I don't know what people were looking for. Still got to go through that one with a finer tooth comb and figure out what the problem was there. But it makes me think
right.
maybe
Yeah.
I'm not wrong and everybody else is wrong. You know, maybe this is going to
Mm.
catch and this will be the higher low. I don't know. I have one share to my name. That's my stake. I've disclosed my position. So
Now they're gonna hunt you.
Yeah, they're coming for that share, baby. They're coming for it hard. But
Yeah, this I
I
mean
know,
record revenue, 8.5 billion prediction market contract. Yeah, they've pivoted well, very well, Robinhood over the years. Um, I think it certainly has a better chance to lift off than Lyft, guys. And look, Lyft is cracking that down under that
oh,
bear flag right now. So again, didn't get the volume. Uh,
let me pull
to
that up. Sorry.
did not get the volume to invalidate that short. So even though we missed, could have missed that the initial short, there's still opportunities there. Still
Yeah.
opportunities. 1450 down to 14 right now. Again, for those in chat wondering if Lyft is a good buy, this chat's for educational purposes only. I am not a financial advisor, but okay, that aside, we have demand zones at 1320. I would zoom out, and if you're looking for this to for an entry, of course, we're down like 100% off the highs in November. So
Yeah.
there's likely going to be some kind of some kind of a recovery bounce on this at a certain
Yeah.
point down here in this demand zone. I would slow scale it. I mean, I like Steve's approach, whereas I'm not going 100% of position size like right here on this. Let's give it some breathing room. Apply like a range. I think ranges are important with these larger names anyways, where I don't need to be 100% right on this initial entry. The Cat's the CEO, he trades like this too, where he scales in. So let's
Yeah.
take a piece into the panic, into the fear. I like the thoughts you guys have. Lyft is like, I mean, so Lyft is trash, Miles. Yeah, if you zoom out and you think the lift is going to zero, which it very well may be going to zero over the course of the next year, then yeah, you can accumulate a short. But as far as what time frame are we working with? Are we looking for somewhat of a little sympathy recovery bounce? As it's been panicking down, not a bad idea. Just maybe even slow scale it towards 10. But it depends on the time frame, I think, that you're working with. If you're looking for this over the next few days, it could bounce off of this 13-12 level.
Yeah. No, and one more thing I just wanted to kind of tag in here with, it might be a bad company, but I don't know about you guys, but I know about Kevin, I think. We're here to make, I mean, you're a small cap trader. We're here to make money, not invest here, right? So sometimes the best opportunities can come from bad companies that are priced like they're terrible companies. Really, some of my favorite, most degenerate trades are buying companies that I don't think are going to go bankrupt, that everybody else does think are going to go bankrupt. And sometimes you get crazy winners. Sometimes they go
GME,
bankrupt. So,
you
that's
think
the
GME?
Oh, geez, don't even say that. We're gonna trigger the algos, and they're gonna start ignoring us. No, I got much love for the apes. I was one of you. That's how I got into options trading, at least.
Oh,
But
okay. Yeah, well, I mean, that makes sense. Yeah, what everybody thinks is, yeah, I mean, Lyft, I'm real curious. Like Lyft, as far as their look, again, what Steve said. Are we looking to be right, or are we looking to make money? Are we looking to that's the whole idea here, because everyone wants to be right in this market. Let's take a look at Lyft's actual short interest on their company. I'm very curious now that we brought that up.
while you pull that up real quick, Tyler, thank you for putting this on my radar. ALAB CFO transition announcement. So I'm going to pull up some info on that too in just a second. So that explains a little bit of a head bonk here. I wish I could tell you more about their C-suite and tell you, like, as a technical trader, I'm not crushed by that, but maybe he was the big brain. So that's where my tourist nature does show itself. Let's see. We're still holding this 170. I'm watching it. I need to watch it into tomorrow though. Don't want to get too
17% short interest on Lyft,
pretty
which is
decent. Pretty
I,
decent.
that is decent. Yeah, when you're near that 20, you can get a squeeze. That 20 is really that level I monitor.
Absolutely. Especially if sometimes you get a little extra nudge with some big options orders, get a little bit of gamma pull going on, get a little this, a little that. But I don't know. I don't know. You ever look at a chart and you're just like, it's like, I don't hate you. I nothing you, it's like, I don't even, it's not even that
That's how you are with Lyft. You don't. You
yeah,
feel nothing. You feel nothing.
side, it's trading smack dab. Look at this smack dab right in the middle. Well, it was trading right in the middle of the range. It broke down. It is in the golden pocket now. but I'm not sure if it's going to go down for this. I would really rather see it come back up and reclaim like a golden pocket level. Or, I mean, to be completely honest, I really want to see it reclaim this big giant volume node at like 17. And it just goes to show how funny it is for technical traders. Because I bought this long at like 22 and sold a little bit at 24 and
Mhm.
got stopped out at 20. Like so, like it's funny how I wanted it
Where
up
do
there.
you
Now I don't want it down here. So
what do you think? What like if we were to put like Steve's trading on a pie chart as far as fundamentals, technical trader analysis go, like give us that pie chart that Steve
oh
looks at.
gosh,
Break
you
it up
want
for us.
you want me to go mask off here? Be real with you. I'll
Yeah.
do it. I'll do it.
100% I wanna
Okay,
hear
all right.
it.
So I try to say that I'm a balanced trader with one foot in each in each world here. In reality, I am a young man with not much professional business expertise. I don't know that much about running a business. I didn't go to business school. What I did find that I'm quite good at is identifying patterns and
Mm,
following trends and inferring why things are moving after they have shown to be something that people are looking at. So I don't really need the fundamentals. I would say probably 80% of my trading is technicals based. I won't look at a chart if I don't like the chart, you know? I just
yeah.
if somebody tells me about a company, I'll be like, that's great. But I won't look at a chart if I like. I don't know what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if you tell me about this amazing opportunity in this company, and I look at the chart and it looks like trash, I will file it away in companies that people I respect say are very good companies, but the market doesn't respect their opinion yet. And
Ooh.
probably you'll be right, but probably it'll take a long time, and probably it'll be on my radar again when it comes back around in like a year or something.
I love it.
That's
Yeah,
kind of what
that's a great approach. I mean, that's I was just thinking as you were saying, that's like, you just want there to be sales, like, if you're a
yeah,
shark on Shark Tank, I
yeah,
wanna hear sales, I don't wanna hear this pitch on what you can do, that's
yeah,
what
no,
I'm
no
hearing. I love
problem.
it. No, technicals are everything. Yeah, it's not nothing is everything, but people do exhaustive analysis fundamentally, which can lead to over bias and get you in trouble.
Mhm.
That's what gets you in trouble. That's where for example, Lyft, okay, probably crap company, but it's like if everybody's thinking the same thing, that's when you go GameStop style.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
you're right. So it's
Mhm.
not just one thing or the other. That's where trader analysis comes into play too, where okay, what is that the majority thinking?
Yeah.
I like to weigh there a lot too, which is what you were doing with AMKR
I
as well. It's like, okay, this is where a lot of people are underwater. And so that, I mean, that was today too. I'll show you on a trade. I mean, that's where I'm looking a lot. This SMX was a decent setup, but JZXN, this in small caps, just real quick. I know we're doing the earnings, but this was like a third failed attempt on a euphoric move. It had a really sharp decline and just kind of scalped it here on this trend line crack. But just recognizing, okay, a lot of bulls are looking for this break through the highs. It doesn't happen. In fact, a fast, sharp uh, sell off, and then we can react based off of that, which is exactly what you were showing on Lyft's past chart history, which
Yeah.
is that descending triangle. Okay, let's just wait for the crack. Wait for the
Yeah.
crack. We have our clear levels, and we don't need to anticipate. That's where traders get in trouble. The
Mhm.
anticipation. Another beautiful chart was this SMX. It was a symmetrical triangle versus the
Yeah.
descending today.
Oh,
It was
yeah,
a
this was
gorgeous.
sneaky. Yeah.
We were on this, but I did a little over analysis thinking they were trapping, but it ended up being clean. It ended up being
That's
clean.
really clean. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, and it's
It's like
just okay,
scream clean. I wouldn't expect that, you know?
but the volume on this. So guys,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
why we're saying just if the volume doesn't come in, it's tight. So the RR is so good on those names. That's why I
Mhm.
like them. The risk reward's great. You just
And
yeah, you
sorry,
just
I'm sorry, I'm stepping on you here.
no,
You gotta go.
I'm done.
All I was, what was oh, and it wasn't even important. Now I can't remember. Kevin, I'm the worst co-host. I don't deserve
No,
you.
you're not. Oh, no, dude, you're the best, man. I appreciate this. This is too much fun. Like you said earlier, it's like, man, we get yeah, it's fun because I know Steve does his power hour and webinars, but it's so good getting on here with them too for these earnings. Looking forward to doing more with you. 'Cause we got year round earnings.
Yeah, we should. If you guys like it, let us know. Give us the feedback, and I'm sure if there's demand, we can keep on trucking because I'm loving it. You got me as long as you want me, you know.
Right.
So I love it here. I'm learning a lot too, and I'm getting to kind of like patch the areas together. One thing I wanted to just loop back to really quick about breaking down the fundamentals versus technicals. I think
Mhm.
that it's really just important to understand the limitations of both strategies. Both totally valid. I know people who don't care about charts at all. They just look at the fundamentals, say I'm buying, and if it goes
Mhm.
against them, they say I'm buying more unless something changed. You know, what I have noticed as oh, well, the other side of that is technical traders. They're like, this pattern's so pretty, it's got to break out. And then new information comes to light and it breaks the pattern and they just can't accept it. You know, some of them. I'm just saying, I've noticed a tendency for technical traders to get caught up in the past, which makes sense. They're looking back at patterns and trying to project those forwards. But when new information comes out, that can shake things up and totally change those patterns. Whereas fundamental traders, they've got their head in these narratives. They're running forward projections. You know, they're crunching all these numbers and they're spending all this time immersed in this stock. They're hyping themselves up. You know,
Mhm.
they can even be right, but it could be not the time. But they could miss the forest for the trees
They
because they're
could.
spending so much time with their
Wow.
sleeves rolled up. In the paperwork. So that's kind of what I've
Yeah.
noticed. So for me, it's the most, I get the most bang for my buck, kind of the 80-20 rule. Oh, that's kind of my breakdown too, 80-20. Yeah, no, 80% uh, reward for 20% effort. For me, that's technical analysis in a nutshell there.
Oh man, yeah, I love that, and just really waiting on the sidelines for your play to show up. Now,
Mhm.
I remember doing that too, the exhaustive analysis when I first started thinking, A, there would be a holy grail as far as technical goes. Well, there's not, and then
Mhm.
B, thinking there's a holy grail. Like if I would wake up at like 4 a.m. to listen in to these earnings calls. I figured if I'm up before everybody else, I can get in on these earnings calls, and that was going to lead to more profits because I'm the early
Mhm.
bird gets the worm. But I'd be the only one in there with the CEO, and so there's no volume. So what
Yeah,
does it
yeah,
matter?
yeah.
There would never be any. There was no volume on these tickers, so there's
Mhm.
really no holy grail other than at least have defining that your edge entirely, knowing
Yeah.
what it is, and B, having the consistency to trade it day in and day out,
Mhm.
um, and the discipline to do just that, day in day out, not jumping into this and that. We were going over that this morning too, where it's just that can be difficult, but you have to learn as newer traders, and you learn in the drawdown. So that's
Yeah.
the beauty of trade the pool because we can learn while limiting the risk, of course. As far as Waymo goes, yeah, it's in competition in those like major cities. I think San Francisco, LA, Phoenix. There's several where Waymo operates, but Lyft has partnered with Waymo as well, bringing that autonomous vehicles onto their platform in certain areas. So it's kind of best of both worlds there. They're competing, and also Waymo's in direct competition.
What in tarnation is this? What have you brought me? What have you brought me, Larry? Good to see you in here, man. Teradata, so TDC. I've never heard of this one. Or it's like one of those tickers that I've probably heard it plenty of times. Didn't know what it was any of those times. It is up significantly, trading up off this 29 handle at 34.40, consolidating under 35 here. Impressive. So what are they? They're an American software company. So maybe this helps set the market out of their tizzy here, and maybe we can start buying some software as a service. I honestly think we need one more flush out, but I think we're halfway there. But this is a good sign. So software as a service, looks like they do cloud database and analytics related software products and services. And if market like them, I'll have to look more into that, but seems decently compelling here. So it reclaimed multiple moving averages of interest on the daily. You had that pinching and curling on the 50, on the 20, the curling up on the 9 as well. And now the big beat sending us up and through this. So now I need to zoom way on back to see where the heck we're going. Oh, and I love these charts, dude. This looks like AMKR. This looks like TER,
Hmm.
Paradigm, where they're so bottomed out. But when they find these big buyers and a reason to actually see liquidity for the first time in quite a while, they can jump right back up to this equilibrium here, this 50%, which would be about 100% gain, at least 50% gain. Oh, well, wait, we're already up here. Shoot. Okay, yeah. So now still though, up to the 50. I mean, $4 or $5 on the table if it keeps trending. So for this, I would look for the post earnings gap setup. So you're going to want to see this. I'll go to a 4 hour. You're going to want to see this tighten up over the next 2, 3 days, maybe up to a week or so. And what you want to see what you're going to do is, so we have this big gap up. Once it settles, let's say that it's going to settle there. We're going to first off draw our fib like that. Actually, I'll swing it around. There's a few things that I look for. There we go. So the biggest thing is nice and simple. You look left. A retest of the breakout would be retransacting these previous two taps high here. Very defined double top that got smashed through. So now it's the top of the previous range. So in general, if you break into a new range, you're probably going to test it at least once to make sure it's real. So that's the area where you're looking to get involved if we find buyers there. So look for this zone at 31 and also at that 50% fib, that half of a pullback here of the move at 32, 33. So that kind of zone, call it 3150 to 3250 right in there. So that's where I'd kind of be looking to get interested if this 3330 62 fib doesn't hold right off the bat here. So, and then just to the upside, I see this 127 fib. This has confluence with the higher time frame fib, this big red. So bada bing, bada boom, 3850. That's where I think it's going.
Whew. APP, good job, Tech. Whoa.
APP?
Yeah, a couple of over the last few days.
Oh, yeah.
It ran $120. Yeah.
That is pretty wild. How do you buy these? They're scary, man. You're just diving in there. Was it the high volume, the capitulation? You're like, enough's enough?
Oh,
Was this like your high quality name and you're just like, I got to buy something in this space? I'm curious.
Joe, we got STEM and small cap land moving out. Got a few. Maybe we'll wake up. STIMJ is CCHH. So we'll review them. I'll send out the list tomorrow. Accumulating it right now, but yeah, as far as earnings went, I mean, I'm seeing like both times we've been on here doing this, these things like they'll make their low. Like Hood, for example, this is forming a little bit of a base off of the lows, 77, 78, formed a higher low. And so just having those defined areas, traders, I think that's overall depending on your time frame. If you're looking to trade this here, like just in after hours, for example, like you have clear levels for just a trade in after hours. But especially if you're working that earnings challenge that we have over at Trade the Pool going on right now. But if you're like Mr. Steve and you just get a discount price on ALAB down here and can accumulate some more shares, is that still what you're thinking? Then hey,
I'm a little bit. I'm kind of decision fatigued out. That's another thing. I'm getting better about recognizing when I'm not making my best decision. So I'm going to wait till tomorrow. I have a position already. If it goes down more, catches something more significant, I'll definitely get involved. If it reclaims over that 175 handle, probably also add a little more on the table there. I like the stock.
Great trader discipline. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I've always said if you can know a trader by really how they react to their red days or the days where they do nothing really. I mean, the red days and the red trades that you have, those reactions to those, but that'll define you as a trader because there's a process that I've seen that's a trend, Steve. It's like traders will have a red trade and then they try to get that back, but they just snowball and dig themselves deeper and deeper and deeper into a hole until they can't get out when they could have just thrown the shovel down after the first initial red trade. But what happens is you start seeing mirages of trades like, oh, this is a good setup. And then you oversize like a 7-2 offsuit. It's not even a good setup.
Oh yeah. And so then you're just getting fattened up and the market's just waiting for people like you to come in. And often you'll find you top tick or bottom tick a trade in the wrong direction. You'll be like, all right, fine, I'll short with the crowd, fine. And then it'll be the exact bottom. And you'll be like, how in the world? Well, it's because you're so off kilter, brother. You're zigging when you should zag. Sometimes you gotta less is more, recenter,
I just saw this. I know, Joe, you guys are doing the book club, thinking in bets. And there's another book that Annie Duke wrote. I can't remember the name of it, but anyway, she was saying, and this was an analogy in relation to poker. Like in trading, this is very relatable too. When you're on a hot streak, you should be sizing up. When you're on essentially when you can't get it going, that's when we emotionally want to size up, but that's when the probabilities are not aligned in our favor. and we should actually be doing the inverse of that, right?
That
Inverse
is
correlation with it. So size down when you're not feeling it.
all right, guys. Kevin dropped a lot of gems, but I love how he saved that absolute banger for the last minute for all you loyal guys who are still guys and gals who are still hanging in here with us. We really appreciate you coming out. Kevin, any final words here before we wrap it on up here?
Yeah, traders live to trade another day. Embrace the risk. Truly embrace the risk. Accept the results. Know prior to entering the trade your risk reward, your profit loss. Don't think on a winner. Don't think on a right or wrong basis. Think on a distribution series of trades, probabilities, not certainties.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Straight into my veins, brother. Good stuff. I'm gonna leave it at that on those fine words. Thank you so much for joining us. We covered a lot of ground on earnings today. We're still kind of digesting as well as the market here, so we will see how it turns out tomorrow. We have another banger set up for you coming in tomorrow. We got our usual great programming all day long. We got our morning show. We got it's oh is it what is it Wednesday? It's Wednesday. Okay, I'm on in the morning. I'll be
Heck
on in
yeah.
the morning with Mitch and Michael. Then we'll have the great. I think we're doing the screener in the midday before I come back on, right? And then power hour and after hours earnings again. So good
You
lineup.
got you got a busy day tomorrow. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
it'll be
I'm
fun.
ready. I'll get my sleep. So I will see you hopefully sooner rather than later. Always good to hang out with
Oh,
you, my friend.
I know.
And
It's
thank you
great.
guys so much for hanging out with us.
Thank you, traders.
All right, guys, take care. Have a great day.